Nishad. Please unmute. Nishad, please unmute yourself.
Hello? Am I
Hello,
audible?
Nishad. How are you?
How are you, sir? I'm fine.
Fine. So, can you check that your screen is? You can
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
Yesterday there was a problem like.
Yeah, I sorted out that.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
So, very good afternoon to each and every participant. Today, Mr. Nishar is with us. Yesterday, he has taken a lot of exercise related to your image registration, creation of point line and feature. I told that today he'll continue from creation of polygon feature with attributes, and thereafter we'll be doing the map layout. Now I hand over my next session to Mr. Nishar for further proceedings. Mr.
Thank,
Nishar, please.
thank you very much, sir. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Is my screen visible to you all?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, yesterday we talked about vectorization. So, we had to do yesterday the vectorization exercise, but unfortunately, due to some technical issues with my screen sharing, I was not able to show you. But someone from the participants did a little bit exercise when I say how to do the same. So we will continue from the polygon feature. So yesterday we learned how to make a shapefile, point shapefile, then a line shapefile, how to draw the line shapefile, point on the map, then how to draw the line, how to split the line. Now today we will do polygon, how to draw polygon on the map, or on the image, or on the topo sheet, whatever data set we are being supplied. So I will first add my georeference topo sheet, that is South Pune topo sheet. I will add from here, that is this from this icon, that is add raster layer, or I can add also from here, add layer, add raster. So I will locate my folder that's on desktop, then go to extracting data, and here it is, add. Now first I will check the this coordinate reference system of this topo sheet. So I will right click on this, then go to properties. It is WGS 84. This is geographic coordinate system. Okay. Now I will make a shapefile, that is polygon shapefile. Here you can see there is a option, that is new shapefile layer. I have to click on this. Then another window will come, new shapefile layer window. I have to name the shapefile. I have to browse file. I have to save the shapefile. I will go to my desktop. Then I will go to my folder where I want to save this shapefile. I will go to extract data in this. So here I will make a folder named output folder. Then in this I will name the shapefile as my. I want to show you. I want to digitize, for example, this reserve forest. So I will make it as RF. Okay. Then geometry type of this, which is polygon. I have to select the polygon. Then the projection, this coordinate system. Since topo sheet is in WGS 84 projection, so I will choose this WGS 84. Then the fields, which fields I have to add to this shape file. Here I can add. I can add later also from the attribute table. Here also I can add. So I will give one of the fields as name, and type. It is whole number, decimal, date, or it is text. Name is text. So I will click text. Then what is the length of this field? So how many characters it can hold? So here it is by default 80. That means up to 80 characters it can hold. So I can change this. I will make it, for example, 50. Then add field. It's here. Name, string, ID is default. String and length is 50. I can add another field also. Whatever, how many fields you want to add, you can. Area, for example, I'm interested in area. Area, for example. I will also like to mention the units, for example, SQ underscore KM, square kilometers. So this type, it should be in decimal. So area must be in decimal. It's not a whole number, decimal, or we can say float. What is the length? I can change the length, or I can keep it as 20. For example, I will say it's 10. Precision means after decimal, how many digits I want. For example, I want 2. So add. So this is another field. Okay. Then after I have to start the digitization. So here you can see, before digitizing, you can see in this topo sheet, we can see the legends of this topo sheet. Reserve forest, it is in green color. Urban green in this symbol showing here. So scrub is this. Then you can education institutes, hospitals are there, mosques, temples, bus stops. You can get the idea. Then contour lines also, it's very important. 10-meter interval and 50-meter interval. Here you can see this bold lines, 750 for example, and up to this is a 50 interval contour line, and these small, this is 10 interval. Between two contour lines there is difference of 10 meter. You know what contour lines, you must be knowing. Contour lines are elevations, equal elevations, lines of equal elevation. So here you can also get the idea about the topo sheet, that it is in geographic coordinate system. From this 73.82 you can get the idea. So now we will digitize the polygon. There are different ways by which we can digitize the polygon. First, we need to set, if I want a hollow polygon, for example, I don't want the colored. For example, if I will digitize here, it will come as in color. So I want a hollow polygon. For that, I have to change the symbology first. So either I will double click on this RF shapefile, or I will right click or go to properties, then go to symbology, or I can do this quickly by double clicking on RF. Here I can change the symbology. I want a hollow polygon, for example. I can change it. Here it comes. You can get different these options here. I have set all, so I can choose one. For example, this one. You can apply, then okay. It got changed. Okay. Then after I have to digitize. First, before digitizing, I have to set the uh, snapping. It's very important. So that snapping must be on, so that if we digitize this whole topo sheet, there we must not left behind any errors. So I have to set the snapping. This snapping option we can add to this panel by here. There must be some snapping option, snapping toolbar. By clicking on this, it gets off, and by clicking back, it's there. Okay. When you click on this, that means this snapping toolbar is off. Snapping is not on. This is not highlighted. So when I click back, it is highlighted. So you have to set some tolerance before doing the snapping. So since I'm doing this yesterday, I told you for line segment there should be segment here highlighted, not vertex. Segment, so that it will catch the vertex quickly. So for a polygon feature, it must be, all the three must be on, highlighted: vertex, segment, and area, all the three. Then here the pixel value I have set up to 5. Okay. Then one more thing you have to select here, that is this one, overlap. If I will click on this allow overlap, then one polygon will be over. If I want an external polygon, then they will be overlapped. If I will click on this avoid overlap on active layer, then an external polygon will be created without overlapping, without any error. There will not be any overshoot or undershoot or generate any sliver polygon. So now I will start digitization. For starting this digitization process to this active layer, I can do toggle. I have to do toggle editing. That can I do by two ways. Either I have to right click on this, then go to toggle editing, or I can here also start editing. So since I have only one layer here, I can start toggle editing here to if I have more than one layer, it's better to start toggle editing from here, the active layer, this one, which is selected layer, sorry, this one. So I will start toggle editing, this off, on. Okay, all these options got visible here. So you can see here create or add feature here. I will click on this, then I have to make a polygon. So I will start digitization. You can see I have set the scale 3800. So this is very, so I can go back, or I can set scale here as 5000 if you want to digitize on 5000 or in 10,000 or whatever. Up to you. It's up to you on which project you are doing work, what is the requirement of the scale. If we select 50,000, it goes beyond. So I will come back 50. So 5000 is okay for me. Now I have to finish. I don't have to double click. In some softwares we double click. Here in Quantum GIS we have to right click. When I right click, polygon is created and the attribute table pops up with both the fields, name, uh, area in square kilometers, and the ID that is default. I will click as ID1, the name as reserve forest. The area, later I will calculate that. I can calculate that later. So this is one polygon, you can select it here. One polygon is selected. Then I have reserve forest at some other place. Here I can digitize this also by clicking on the add feature. This is the one way I am showing you how to digitize the polygon features. Say for example, if you want to generate a land use land cover, the better way, this one way. If you are creating, since we are creating here different layers for reserve forest, different this built up area, scrub, that's why we have to digitize separately. Although if there is a requirement that you want only one shapefile and all these features in one shapefile, in that case you have to make an big polygon, external polygon or a grid uh, outside, which will cover this whole topo sheet. Then after you have to cut polygons inside that big polygon so that all that features you can create. This ID2, then name, reserve forest also. forest also area. Later on I can calculate that. So these two polygons. Likewise, you can digitize this whole topo sheet. But one more thing is, when you will reach here, you have to digitize this. If I will if I have not selected this avoid overlap, I will select this. For example, uh, I will keep this on. So then I will take a polygon. I want to digitize this. For example, I will first digitize a small area to check this. Look at here. This is overlap. This is an error. I can select this. I can select this. So this is an overlap between the two polygons. This is an error in vectorization. So that means this polygon, it covers area up to here, and this polygon, it covers area up to here. So this is an error. This is not the exact area of this, and this is not an exact area of this. I want a polygon which should come up to this boundary from here. So I will delete this polygon. So I will show you how to do this to make this external polygon. So I have to avoid overlap on active layer here. So now when I will take another polygon, I will digitize this from here. I am roughly digitizing. Now, for example, I want to digitize this whole big area. You don't want to digitize whole, or maybe you have to left this polygon in between, and then after you want to continue. For that, you have, if I will left it here, I will left it here. I will show you another thing simultaneously. So right click. For example, this is ID 3. For example, or name as built up. Look at here. There is no overlap now. This is separate polygon. This is separate polygon. How I did this? By this option, avoid overlap on active layer. In ArcGIS, it's called this is just called autocomplete polygon. Here here then there is an option, separate option for that. Here we have to generate this polygon from the same polygon. Since only we have to do something with our snapping, we have to change our snapping options. Then I want this area also, then after I will show how to merge these polygons. So I will take another polygon. I will digitize that. I'm roughly showing you so that I can cover this. Let it be for name as origin name, for example. Now these two polygons, since this is one feature, I have to merge these polygons. What I will do, I will select both these by this tool, and here's an option, this one, merge selected features. So this window comes merge features. These two will be merged in one, this one. So I will click OK. Now this is one polygon. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is one way how we can digitize by this technique. Or you have sometimes we have some another feature. For example, this is reserve forest. We have some open forest here. Here, I want to digitize or cut here. How we can do that? For that, we have another option, that is fill fill ring. For example, I have to digitize here. Right click. Okay. So you can see this is another polygon. This is another polygon. That means from this polygon, I have cut this polygon. This polygon. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, can you repeat this step? Undercut polygon.
Which step? This one, ring wala.
Yes, sir. Last one.
Sir,
Okay.
could you just delete that, the new polygon, the new one which we created just now? Delete it?
I don't have to delete. I have to merge this.
No, no, no. The one we have cutted, if you delete that, it should be hollow, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It should be hollow.
Yeah.
I will show you. For example, this one, this one. Then if I will delete this,
Yeah.
it will be hollow here. For example, you can check
No,
for
no, but it has made two polygons now. Now you have to again delete this to see it as a hollow.
this is hollow. I will show you how this is hollow. I will go to symbology and I will change the symbology, for example. Is this hollow now?
Could you just delete that one, new one?
I deleted. This is background color green. My
Okay, okay. At the
I have,
background, it is green. Okay, okay.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. This
Okay.
is I have deleted this. That's why
Yes.
I showed you by symbology. I changed the symbology
Okay,
so
okay,
that you
sir.
can
Okay,
better
sir.
understand.
Got it.
Okay. So there is another option for this to make the hollow polygon. We don't have to delete. For that, first I will change the symbology again. I will keep this as hollow outline. So another option is here, that's called delete ring. So you have to do this. Here, by this add ring, you can do that. This is one polygon, and here no polygon because this boundary is not highlighted. Got it? You don't have to delete. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now I will show you another way how to do digitization. For that, I will show this area, for example, this area of the topo sheet, or I will delete these polygons. I will select this. I can press delete on keyboard. Okay, what I will do, I will make a polygon and I want to cover this whole area since I want to digitize the whole topo sheet. This is a better way of doing the land use land cover. If you have to, from here also you can then later on generate these separate layers. Forest, when you will assign names to each category, then after you can make them select and export those features. You can generate separate layers also, or you can copy paste those also. I will give this as one and hollow. Oh, I will do this again. right click. Okay, now I have to digitize here in this big polygon. So I want to digitize, for example, this lake. So I will select this. Then after, there's an option called uh, cut feature, fill ring. Sorry. From this polygon, this outer polygon, I have cutted this portion. So by this way, I can digitize this whole topo sheet. If I will start from here, I will start from here, from any edge. In continuous way, I can digitize this whole topo sheet. Is it clear? If I
Yes,
have to
sir.
Yes,
digitize
sir.
whole, or another way is, which earlier I showed you, you can generate separate layers. For example, reserve forest shapefile, digitize the reserve forest. You went to this here, reserve forest see in legends what this color indicates, and here it's label also reserve forest. So you can digitize reserve forest. Then, for example, this is query. You can digitize these polygons in same color. These polygons. This is the barren. This is scrubland. This is a built-up area or the urban area. This is urban green area. You can digitize this lake. Then these are open spaces in the urban area. Then these you have covered in line features, roads, and these drainage. If there is some canal, you can digitize that also. So this is the agricultural land. You can also digitize these. So I think this polygon or digitizing this topo sheet, it's clear to you now. Can anybody confirm? Is it clear to
Yes,
everyone?
sir. Clear. Yes, sir. Clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this was our previous exercise, yesterday's exercise, digitizing this topo sheet, generating the vector layers. So after this exercise, we have another exercise, that's map preparation. Suppose, for example, we have digitized this whole area, roads, this built-up area, this for these forest, for reserve forest boundaries, everything. Now I want a map. So how we will do that? So I will close this data for this current exercise. I have to add another data. I will remove discard. Okay. Then I have will start another exercise, that is map preparation. So before we start our exercise, what actually map is? So in this exercise, what have to do? We have to prepare a comprehensive map with, and we have to learn how to we make a map and how we can edit layer symbology. That's very important. And this for making a map, it depends upon the skills, what the cartographer or what the analyst or what this person who is making the map, he is having, how much beautiful, how much informative map he can make. So what is map? Map is a graphical representation of a particular area or whole earth on a flat surface. So this flat surface may be a paper or a cloth, etc. A very common output of any GIS or surveying work is map. So a map conveys more information than work. Therefore, a good map portrays your results and effects in a better position. So Cartography is a branch and art of science which deals with the map making. So the person who deals with map making is called a cartographer. There is a wide variety of maps available, that topographical maps, geographical, thematic, climate, military, guide maps, tourist maps, and many more. In this tutorial, we will learn how to prepare a map in this QGIS. So then after we will see how to edit symbology of various features that we have generated. Then the title of the map will be, our aim is to show the hospitals and bus stops of this South Pune, from which we have generated the data, which is being supplied with the next exercise. Then we will show you how to export that map in JPG or PDF format. So I will add the data here for from the previous new exercise. That's map making. I will add all the layers that is on desktop. So this one. These are all shape files. I will open all of these. I think I have missed some shape file. I don't know which one. I will add again. I will remove. I will add. Yeah. Or I will hold the shift, then click here so that all the shape files will come. Close. Now, for example, you have digitized the earlier topo sheet. Earlier topo sheet you have digitized. So I showed you how you can digitize. Either you can digitize separately, for example, agriculture in separate shapefile, barren separate shapefile, lakes separate shapefile, open scrub separate shapefile, likewise others, and roads as separate shapefile, highways separate, or you can make one shapefile, highways, roads, then add attributes to that layer, then attributes to that layer, and categorize. This line is in highway, this is a minor road, etc. So one thing I forgot to show you in the earlier exercise, that was the area. I generated the I created the area field, but I didn't show you how to calculate the area. That's very important. So here I will show you. For example, I will take this polygon layer. It will cover in this also, right? So I will open the attribute table. So here are only three classes. Agriculture, this is all agriculture layer, and these are some label X. This is coordinates. This is a UTM projection. That's why it's showing in meters these coordinates. I will add a field, one more field. Here I can add a field from here also. It's not necessary that when you generate the shapefile you will add. You can add later on, or you can delete whatever you want to do with the shapefile. So first I have to do for adding these options are not highlighted. I have to toggle editing, start editing for this table. So I will, there's a pen like option, a pen like yellow color pen here. That's called the toggle editing mode. I will click here. These are highlighted. This one is for the delete field, and this one is for the new field. I want a new field, so I will click here, then name the field area. Then if I want to mention some comment here, I can. If I don't want to, I can leave this. For example, SQ kilometers km. Since map units are in meters, when this will calculate area by default, those will be in meters. I have to give some conversion factor so that I can convert area from meters to square kilometers. That's very easy. That's not a big deal. So this will be in float. That's a decimal real number. Then precision, I will keep 10. I will this length 10 and 2. Then okay. Then I have to calculate the area. So I will go to this option that's called a field calculator. I will click here and the window comes, that's field calculator. Now I want to calculate the area. How I will calculate area? I will calculate this by this update existing field. I will click here. Then I have which field I have to update. This area one, area field which I have added. Then I have to calculate the area. Here are many options: color, conditional, day, time, field is. So I have to go to geometry. I have to calculate actually the geometry of the polygon. So I will click here. So many options comes. So here's one predefined this command for the area, that is area dollar. I will double click on this. It comes here in this. If I will click OK, this will generate. This will calculate area in meters. But I want area in square kilometers. So how I will convert this? So I will click on this open calculator again. Then update existing. Then go to area updation. Then I will go to geometry. Then again this area dollar. So I will divide, since we know that any area is calculated by length into breadth. So I have to, this is in meters, I have to give the conversion factors. So I will divide this area by, if I want area in square kilometers, that is 1000, and one more time 1000 for length and breadth, 6 zeros. So okay, this is in square kilometers. You can give any other conversion factor you want in hectares, acres, whatever, or you want to keep this in meters also. Okay, so this was about area calculation. Save. Likewise for length calculation for the linear features, you can calculate length also. You can start editing, start toggle editing, then add a field, then area. For example, I want in meters. Area. I don't want to convert this area meters. Area m. So this is in decimal. So I want to 2 digits only after decimal. Then after I will update by this field calculator and update. Then go to area m. Then go to geometry. Then this is not area. We have to calculate the length. So I have to here search for length dollar. Here's a length dollar. Okay, this is the length of the feature, these linear features, these highways. 4000, for example, for this one. This is highlighted. This one. Its length is 4029.49 meters. I will stop editing, save it as, then close. So this was about the area calculation. Now we have to generate the map from this data. Before generating the map or before creating the map, I have to arrange these layers. I want these point features, point shape files on the top. I will drag these down. I will drag this down. Then I will drag this down, should this up. I will bring this up. So now I have to change the symbology. I have to edit the symbology. So for hospitals, first bus stops, for example, I will double click on this. This comes. I want some bus here, for example. So what I will do, I will click on this, I will add this, add here, then this one I can remove. I will go to here, this simple marker. I will go to HGV marker. So here are different options where these are actually images. So which I can choose, which image I want. I want, for example, this. So I can change the color of this. I want some this dark blue here. So I want to increase the height of this bus. So if I will change, these are units in millimeters. So if I will click on points, it will be very small. So I want to keep this in millimeters. So here you can choose any other color. So this will be in, for example, blue. Apply. I can see on map this bus symbol has been. Now I want also the label for these. Since I want a map, bus stops and hospitals of South Pune. So I want a label for properties. I will go to properties. There's an option called label. So I will keep here as single label. So since I earlier showed you, I have I have added a field called name. That is the name of the bus stop, for example. So for example, this is that name. I want to change the settings for this. For example, I want to change the font. I will keep this as, for example, 5 or 6. I want 6. I want this in some other. There are different formats in which I want these. Okay. I want this in bold, for example. Then I can change again the font. So I can change the color also. So I will keep this as black. Black is okay for me. So you can change the color. So you can try later on. You can practice it at home. The more you practice, the more you will become perfect. So I will apply, then okay. So I can see here the name. So if this is the font is more, I can change again, or I can change it later on when I will see this map in the layout view. So I can change here also. I will keep this as 5. Okay. Then after, for hospitals, again either right click, go to properties, then symbology, or double click symbology. So I want some cross sign here. You can add directly from here a cross sign, or you can go to or you can add here. Then you can minus this. Then you can here a geometry here, cross sign for here. Then you can change the color. For example, I want a red cross. Color of this. Then if I don't want this, these red crosses are added on the map. Or I can change if you want. If you found that this cross is more attractive than this, then you can add this. You can, from here you can remove this. For example, right click this one, apply. Yes, you can change the size. This means this is a circle outside. If you don't want a circle, then you can remove from here. If you want a circle, that's why it is a predefined. This has been added to this. I can remove this also, then it will be earlier one, that is this cross only. Okay, I want labels also for the hospitals. So go to labels, same single label. Then I want this bold. Then I will keep this as, for example, 5. Then these will be in points. So placement also, that's very important, label placement. So offset from point, I will keep this a little bit away. What will be the offset position? For example, I will keep it as 1 and apply. I will see where this label is. So I have to change a little bit. Now this is better. Okay, I will do same for the bus stops also. Placement, offset point. This is, I have set the 5 and 5. Okay, it's okay. Is it clear up to now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All clear.
Okay. So for these bus stops and hostels, I have set the this symbology. Likewise, we can set for the highways symbology. Then I can choose this. For example, I will keep it as 1. These are highways. Then for roads, I will choose some other color. I want this color, this one. I can get it a little bit. This is more, looking more. Okay, these are roads. Then for the agriculture, I will choose a color. Here, I will click on this. Fill color, I can change. For example, I want this color. Then for barren, I want a color. I want some color in some brown shade, for example. From here, I can adjust. Apply and OK. Then lakes, water is blue, so I want blue color. So apply, OK. So then after the scrub, I want some I will do something like this. I will use some HGV fill here. Then here also I can add some image here. For example, this image I want. I will change just points, for example. Then after I will change the color. For example, this I want. This dark green I want. So apply and OK. This is a scrub. So open spaces, I want to left it blank, for example. I will give a shade, light shade. Here I can adjust. I will give some, here I can, opacity I can change here. I will give some very, very light shade. Or I can keep it as transparent, for example. Or I can give some texture also, dense, diagonal, cross, vertical. So no brush. I will choose some color in this. I will go like this color. So these are open spaces. So queries, we know what are queries. any mining process doing going on there, extracting some stones, etc. So I want some gray color. So these are queries. So reserve forest, I will keep it in a dark green. So some urban areas, it's a built up area. So urban area. So then after the urban green, the plantation in the urban area. So I can choose here some IGV fill. I can use some plant symbol, tree symbol. This one. So I will keep this in points. Then after I will fill color some green. So I can rotate it also by this. What direct in some direction. And then apply and OK. So this is up to you. Which symbology you are going to choose. For example, I will keep this in points. Now suppose I have set the symbology of all the layers. Then after what I have to, I am now interested in finalizing the map. So putting some, so this, so that I can later on, for example, if you want to have to publish somewhere, or you have to, you want some printout of that map. For that, what I will do, before doing that, I will show you one more thing that's very important. For example, you have set the symbology, all the things. It has taken a lot of time, and next time you want to do some more work, or you have generated the map, but your boss or your colleague or whatever to which agency you are supplying the map, they will say you that I want this change here. This color is not good. Change this color. So you will not repeat that process again. For that thing, you have to save the project or save the template first, so that this will be saved at your computer, and you will quickly change that thing which they want, and then after you can save the next new map again. So how we will save the project? We will click on here and then save as. So for example, I will go to my folder. I want to save the India map preparation. Here, map preparation. Here I will save. This as, will name it as map preparation. Saved. So this is saved now. When I want to close, I will first save, then close. Next time I have to go to my folder, for example, here. Then I have to just click on this MXT, this quantum GIS, this project, this icon, map preparation, and it will automatically open up the window with the data, and I will see all the things, there with data, same symbology, color, everything. Now, I have to export. I have to generate a map. So I will do one thing. I will go to project, then here, print, new print layout. I have to give some name to this layout. For example, I will give map map ex1, for example. Okay, then another window comes. So here I have to add the data, same data, but I don't have to repeat the process. I have to just click and it will be here. I have to click on add data, then it will be here. So first, before that, I will set the page properties for this. So I will go to page properties. Then I want this map, for example, on A2 size. You can choose the size of the paper. Then go to this page properties are set. I want this in landscape, for example. You can change it in or portrait also. I want this in landscape. So if you want to add some background color, you can change here. I want this in white, for example. I don't want any background color right now. I can do this later on also. So now I have to add the data. So here are different options which we are going to use. Most of the options we are going to use here. So this option, add map. So I will click here and drag. My map is here. So now I have to drag again. So now I have to right click here, then go to page item properties. Page properties are I have to click here. Then where I have to set the orientation and the size of the paper. When I will click here in this area, under this grid, under this frame, now I have to go to the item properties. Another window comes. So I will first set the scale. Since this map is on 1 is to 15,000, I guess. I will see to which scale it will fit. I will type, for example, 15,000. So then after, if I have to move this map, I have to click on this. I can move this map. If I want to, move this frame, then I have to click on this frame. That means select move item. This one, I can move this. If I want to adjust this frame, I have to make this small, big. So I can zoom in, zoom out by this. By scroll button, scroll wheel on the mouse, we can also zoom in, zoom out. So I want this map like this, for example. or you can drag it out also. If you don't want this, for example, you want this, then after you can adjust. And click it here. Then be here. Okay. Yes. I want this frame a little bit inside. So I'll click on here, then click on here. For this work, you need a lot of patience to set the things right. Okay, this area is set. Now I want another things in this map. So I want a border, a frame. So I will add a frame, go to frame here. I will click on this. Then I will change the color. I can change the color from here, or I can this one. Click first here, then item properties. Then I can change the color or thickness. I can also change the thickness of this frame also. So this is set. I can also change the background from here if you want. Since there is white color, if you want some other color, you can change here. I will show you, for example, this color is changed to this color. If you want white, then you can keep it as white. Okay. Then more things very important. First, I want a title. So I will add a text. I will double click here, or I will go to properties, right click, then item properties, same item properties. Right now I'm editing this one inside this frame. What was the title of this bus stops and hospitals of South Pune. So font I can adjust here, double clicking on this. I want bold, size of the font, for example, 36. Okay. Then it should be in the center, in middle. Okay. So this is set, for example. If you want to change, you can change. If you want some frame, item properties, if you want frame for this also, you can add frame. If you want to make this bold, you can. So another thing is north arrow. That is here in map. It shows the direction of north. If you want some other north arrow, then go to item properties. You can choose. You can choose here. For example, I want this north arrow. I'll set it here. My north arrow is here. Or you can change. I want, for example, this. You can change the position from keyboard also. arrow with arrow keys. For example, right, left, up, down. Is this clear to everyone up till now? Can I
Yes,
repeat
sir.
again?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Then after scale, I have to add scale bar here. I will drag this here, then go same thing, item properties. Then I will set this in meters, then customize. I want single box, I want double box, for example. Before that, I will go to this page properties, landscape, okay. Okay, I want a fixed segment, for example, here. If I want a fixed segment, these are from panel what things I have added. Yes, this one I was looking for. The main properties, this one. Where I added the scale, then the projection. Which projection I am using this data. For example, I am using this data in UTM projection. So this will keep my units. Now I will change units in kilometers. For example, I want kilometer scale. So this is scale, kilometer scale. Kilometers. Okay. So I can change anything you want. So this, for example, scale is set. For example, you have chosen this scale. You can change the color of the scale. Then after I want one more important, that is legend. I'm looking for legends. These are the legends. So here are the legends of this map. So I can also edit this also, legends also. For example, columns. I want this in 2 columns. Okay. I want some title. Legend. Then font. For example, I want bold font of 20. Okay. Then alignment, for example, center alignment, left alignment, right alignment, or the left alignment I want. Then this subgroup font, I can choose their alignment. This item center, this one, or the left, and their font. I want these also in bold. Apply. Okay. Or you can add frame also. frame to this also. Then spacing you can adjust. Background you can also. So I want this here. These are the legends. Or you can move by arrow keys. So these are the things which are very important in map. Title, this north arrow, scale, legends. Apart from these things, you can add extra things. For example, you want to add some text to the publisher, name of the publisher, date of publishing of this map. You can also add. We can add here.
Sir, if I want to add lat long on this map, where I can do?
Yeah, we can add that also. I will show you. First, we will do that thing. Then after, I will show you this. So I will go to item properties. Then I will go to grids. I have to add a grid. Then modify a grid. Then here I have to choose cross marks, or annotations, for example. You want these grids like this in x-axis and y-axis, or you want outside lat longs only. For
Sir,
example,
lat longs.
okay, for frame and annotations only, I have chosen here. I will show you again. I have to go to grids. Then I added a grid, then modify a grid. Okay. Then I choose here, for example, if I choose cross marks or these things, so I will choose annotations only. Then I will choose a projection. So I will choose this WGS84 since this projection is showing me lat long. Then units, map units. Then I will choose interval here. For example, I want interval. Then want a frame. Here. Then I have to go to the coordinates. Then I will choose here some degree minute. Here are lat longs. Can you see on the map?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Visible.
sir.
These are I have chosen here external ticks so that I can view them. If I will choose their internal, then they will be inside the frame. So I have chosen here units at degree minutes. You can choose decimal, you can choose degree minute suffix. Degree minutes okay for me. Then I have choose here outside frame. Then you can choose the orientation of these. You can choose this side and this side and this side, or you can choose this interval which I set to, for example, if this is so far away, I can choose here as 0.025. So again click here, item properties, then grids, then modify grid. Then here I have to uh, if I choose here, these are closed. Okay, so you have to, for example, if I will here I can adjust. Okay, you can also choose an offset from this data frame. How much this should be away from this. So you can also choose a thickness also of these ticks. Then size. Margins you can adjust. So color also. So this was by this way you can select the this grids. So there's also one more thing, that is this orientation. For example, on the left side you want to show all. On the right side you want to disable. Look at this, disable. I have disabled it from this side. So on the top I want to disable. At the bottom I want to show, or only these two sides, right? So item properties. Okay. Choose further narrow them down.
Hello, sir. Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Okay.
So, can I adjust the lat long in vertical shape? Sorry,
Vertic.
because vertical, yes,
Yeah, yeah,
vertical format,
yeah,
because
yeah,
it's going outside the map.
yeah. We can. There is one more option that's called orientation. Disable font coordinates left. Okay now.
Yes, sir.
So
Thank you,
these
sir.
are the lat longs we have set. This is vertical. This is the horizontal. So one more thing I was saying, that I want to add some extra text or extra information to this map, that is the by which agency this map has been, for example, supplied. So I will go to properties, then I will say, for example, date of, I will write date of publish, date of publish 13, sorry, properties, date of publish, it's 13 Jan 2022. Then I have to write mention that for example, prepared by GVU team. Then I want this in bold in 12. Okay. Then this will be in center, middle. Then I want some frame also. Okay. Then I can adjust this by arrow key. I want it here. For example, I don't want a frame. I will keep frame off. So then properties. Then I want this at right. And bottom. So I can adjust now. Okay. So this was all about map preparation. So you can add more things also. For example, if you want some logo of the agency which has made, or which institute this has made, they have some logo, we can add that. For example, I will show you on some picture. I can add a picture to show you. For example, I don't know I have any picture in my system. If you have some add picture, you can add from here also, or you can browse your picture here. This was I was looking for here. You can browse. For example, I don't know, pictures. So by this way you can add a picture. I don't have any some logo here, so I wanted that here. For example, I will show you on this. I want some logo. You consider this is a logo. Like this. Okay. We will add it here. You can change color, fill color also. You can change position, placement at the left, bottom left. You can zoom in, change the size also. You can give that light shade. Now this looks good. So by this way we generate a map. So you can also, well, now we have to save this map. So I have to export this map. For example, I will export this as save export image. I have to go to where I have to this save this. Then map preparation. This is a JPG map. So I will keep this in my exercise. Here also, here. In JPG format. You can also save this in PDF format also. Then save. Another window comes, says me about resolution. What resolution you want? For example, I can change 300. Since I want this right now, it should be saved quickly. I will keep this as 250, for example. Then save. Save. So I want to look the same in my folder. No, this is not this a template. I want this. Map of Pune, this one. This is your final map. You can see the labels. If, for example, you saw these labels are not correctly on this should be somewhere here. You have to change the placement, which I earlier showed you on this hospitals layer. For example, if you want to change the settings of this map, or you want to change the fonts, colors, or you want to change the symbology, so I will close this. I will go back to my this layer. I have another window, that is this editing window. Then you can change here. Whatever change you will change here, it will automatically reflect in this. For example, I will change this placement of this label placement. I will give offset here as 6, for example. Apply. Okay. So this change is also reflected in map also. You can, here I showed you how to save the project. So here you can save also the save this save changes to this project, or you can change you can save the template, this template. So here I can save it in my folder. Template 1, for example. This is saved. Then I have to look for the same. If I want to open the same map, then here I can see that layouts, map X1, for example. When I open the project, I will click on this, it will be here. So this was all about today's exercise. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
So at your home you can practice this. You can digitize this whole topo sheet by different ways. It's very easy. It's not a satellite image. You have to interpret. Legends are there that clearly indicates which line feature indicates the highway, which line feature indicates the minor road, and this road, and which is which color indicates these agricultural lands. Then after you can set the symbology. More you will practice this, more you will become perfect. In my opinion, I suppose this map making is one of the laborious work. It's not once you will set the template, then after you will do quickly. But for a new user to set all these options, these things, then after settings, then this frame, then these things, it should have a very good patience to do this. Otherwise, it would not look nice. It will look clumsy. So that was all for today. So if anyone has any question, he can ask.
Hello.
Yes, yes.
Yes, Nasir, Nisar, thank you so much for such an detailed, description about all the things which you have dictated. So, dear participants, if you have any query, please ask Nisar. He will clarify you.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, some of the names are going outside in the topo sheet.
Yeah, yeah.
Can we adjust them?
Yeah, actually, we have to do something. This we have to set the symbology for that. We have to change the orientation,
Yes, sir.
or we will keep this off, or it depends upon. For example, our extent is going here. So I have placed these. So if I will change here, so it may not all. Maybe it will come outside, or either I will keep them off, then after I will mark them differently. So these things happen in we have to manage those things. Manage in the sense we have to intelligently place the place marks. These are labels. We have to see settings while we can keep them off, which font we have to select, we have to align them to right, we have done to, this is a very laborious work, and very keenly we have to observe these things. Then after we will if this is coming outside, so I will draw, I can adjust this by I will give some another frame here, then I will color that frame also so that it will cover. So it depends upon the cartographer also, how he will adjust or manage things so that it will look beautiful.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
I think you got so many lectures in the morning session about the compilation of map. So as per your need, as per the requirement of the users, you can set all these things: the scale, the projections, the display of various features, point, line, polygon, how you want to display them to make it more informative, as well as giving information to the users. So please, dear participants, if you have any query, you ask, make yourself clear, because at the end of the day, you need to submit a project report as well as the lab records. Then only your this program will be successful if you have learned something from this platform. So if you have any queries, please feel free to ask me.
अपना बंद करना निसार सर
जी sir, जी बोलिए.
हेलो
Yes, I am listening.
हेलो निसार सर
Yes, I am listening.
sir in this map if suppose I want to show this particular our area in India's perspective, like I have a India map.
Yeah.
In the Indian map, I want to show that location, indicating this one whatever we have done.
Yeah,
So how can I add that Indian map frame here?
yeah. You want to show an overview map. You want that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, correct.
Yeah. We can do one thing for that. We have to add, for example, add another window here, this
Okay.
frame here. Then after I will add that map to that frame, then I will adjust that so that it will
Yes,
show me an
and we'll make the
overview
space here for that map.
overview map. For example, you want, this is India. In
Mm,
India it's Pune, and in Pune
mm.
this is the particular area.
Yes, yes.
I think that thing will also be covered in your future in your future level of these training programs. So here
Okay.
in this exercise, it was the basic map preparation.
Okay,
So
sir. Okay, sir.
for
No
that
problem.
now, I think this enough, and it for that I need more data. For that, I could have shown in you that in this exercise, but that needs preparation of more data so that I can show it here. I got your point that you want an overview map.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Are you listening?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any questions?
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah. You're audible. Any question from any of the participants?
Hello.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी. आवाज आ रही है?
Yes, sir. Was all clear, sir.
और all clear, मुजाहिद,
Yes, sir. All clear. Thank you, sir.
पूर्णिमा जी.
Hello. Am I audible?
हाँ हाँ निशार जी, you're audible. और कोई है जिनको कोई
Yeah,
डाउट है?
the last participant. Uh,
निशार कुछ बोल रहे थे?
yeah. I was talking about the overview map.
Okay.
This one, this option. Anybody among you want to do this a little bit map making? If he wants to do
We'll
this,
start. Who has the courage to do it right now? It's a challenge. Who'll accept the challenge?
Bhavneet, I think so. Or
Bhavneet, Mujahid, they're the two youngsters that are regularly following each and
even
every
Sugandha also,
Sugandha
but
also.
I don't know here she will accept or not.
Either of both of you, anyone.
Sir, I learned things, but I'm not practiced because this is new, sir, new
So no,
software
no,
for
no.
me.
You see, the purpose was to appreciate you, and we are not saying that you have to do. In case you are stuck up somewhere, so there is a person who will be saying you कि यहाँ भूल गए थे ये करना है.
Okay, sir. Let me
जस्ट
try.
फॉर अ ट्रायल है तो इससे है ना
Okay, sir.
आपका कॉन्फिडेंस कहाँ आप अटक रहे हो ना यू अंडरस्टैंड राइट नाउ तो एक बार सॉफ्टवेयर इज मोर काइंड ऑफ अ प्रैक्टिस यू सी the more you practice the more you learn it is not like that today he has given you a lecture of 1 hour and from tomorrow onwards you will be expert in this map making gradually you will learn but one day you will be expert
कितना
if
अच्छा तो
you
बनाया.
इतना बढ़िया बनाया दोस्त और क्या चाहिए बताओ क्या शानदार
Sir, I tried, but
अरे
meanwhile,
बहुत बढ़िया है मतलब
For
तुम तो
beginners, तो it's
अरे
good.
बहुत शानदार मैप बनाया हो यार तुमने बनाया ना खुद से
yes, sir. Just change the symbology. It was downloaded from the DSP site,
ओके ये
but I
बाय
just
डिफॉल्ट
changed
है
the symbology.
नहीं उस दिन मजा आएगा ना द डे यू विल प्रिपेयर सच अ मैप उस दिन समझो कि फिर आप हो गए एक्सपर्ट
Sure,
जब
sir.
ऐसा जिस दिन बन गया आपसे अभी बनाइए लेआउट बनाना है लेआउट बनाइए
So, where to start? Actually, I forget, sir.
उसको
कोई
बोलो.
बात नहीं कोई बात नहीं
Bhavneet
Yes.
बोलो.
anybody who will help out from the participant to your fellow mate
Anybody can share their screen so that I can see what symbology they have set. Are they doing it
Mujahid has
parallelly?
shared his screen.
Uh, Anybody else?
Anybody else? कोई बात नहीं. कोई बात नहीं, अगर किसी को अभी दिक्कत हो रही है शेयर करने में तो कोई बात नहीं, बाद में कर लेंगे. आज के लिए मेरे को लगता है कि बहुत हो गया. किसी को कुछ पूछना है तो पूछ लो, नहीं तो फिर
और
आज
एक
के
बात
लिए.
और एक बात मैं बताना चाहूंगा, एवरीवन, अगर किसी ने ये देख लिया और बोलेगा कि मुझे आएगा, तो उसको नहीं आएगा. जब तक आप प्रैक्टिस नहीं करोगे,
यस.
जब तक ये 100 बार गलत नहीं होगा, और जब तक आप खुद चीजें एक्सप्लोर नहीं करोगे, तब तक आपको ना ही याद रहेगा ना और ना ही आएगा. हम भी पहले प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, देखते हैं, और इस फील्ड में इन टच है. अगर हम भी 15 दिन 1 महीने का गैप लेंगे तो हम भी भूल जाते हैं.
सही बात.
तो सो ये हमें टच में रहना जरूरी होता है और नई नई चीजें सीखनी होती है.
सही बात. तो लगता है कि आज के लिए क्वेश्चन कोई अब रहा नहीं है, तो हम लोग इसको छोड़ सकते हैं आज के लिए. तो असाइनमेंट है भाई आप सबके लिए, जितने भी पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं, इंक्लूडिंग द वॉलंटियर पार्टिसिपेंट्स, कि आपको एक असाइनमेंट ग्रुप में डालना है. कल तक कल तक हो जाएगा कि और समय चाहिए?
So same thing, no different.
हाँ, सेम थिंग. बस ये
Yes, sir.
इतना ही कर
Sure,
लोगे तो
sir.
यही बहुत है. यही सीख लिया तो मतलब सीख लिया आप QGIS
Okay, sure, sir. I will send.
from beginning to end, मतलब from starting from your projection, defining projection, then getting the topo sheet and georeference, then image to image registration, then digitization of point, line, and polygon features, and creation of your own map. The layout that you have prepared was the layout or the polygons line provided by DST. But you can create your own map for your own study area. It can be in Delhi, it can be in any place where your area of interest lies. And the same assignment is for all these BSc candidates who are pursuing or the MSc and MTech that are a part of their minor and major project. So you have to submit those assignment what it has been given to us by tomorrow. Each and every one, nobody will copy and paste. The symbology should be different for each and every individual whoever is preparing the map, as well as the legend style and the legend. By seeing a map, we can easily identify who has copied with whom. So I believe that nobody will copy with anyone, and they will submit a fresh file to the concerned groups. Parallelly, it's also a prerequisite that today, Nishar, thanks a lot for your time and concern that
Thank
you
you
have
very much,
given
sir.
to us, the in-depth knowledge that you have given to the participants.
Thank you very much, sir.
And it was a great honor for us that you have taught our participants the entire composition of map and digitization. Thanks a lot for your support.
Thank you very much, sir.
And for the other participants, I'll let you know that there is a minor project that has to be submitted at end of this what I say workshop or training that you are conducting or we are conducting and you are participating in. So until unless you are not submitting it, you won't be getting a certification. That is a prerequisite. We'll be sharing the format for project submission. So what we'll do is we are going to create groups. and those groups minimum members are 4, maximum is 5. So right now the DST has selected 27 participants. So on an average, most probably will have 7 groups. In 7 groups, there will be one team leader, and he will be representing the entire group. And at least means if there are 28, 27, 7 groups means 7 projects we want at the end of your course. Without that, and there will be examination. I'll be sharing it up. Please spare me 2 minutes. I'll be sparing what are the guidelines what DST has given for certification. Just give me 2 minutes. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
अब देखो ये ऊपर वाला तो प्रोसेस हमने कर लिया है, डे 1 वाला हमने कर रखा है। अब डे 20 और 21 को क्या करना है? फीडबैक थ्रू द पोर्टल इज मैंडेटरी। मतलब जितने भी लोग 27 लोग हैं जो हम लोग डेली फीडबैक दे रहे हैं, ये तो पर डे का फीडबैक है, इंडिविजुअली हम लोग एज अ कोऑर्डिनेटर ले रहे हैं और हम लोग देंगे जो स्पॉन्सरिंग एजेंसी है। जो फाइनल फीडबैक है वो फीडबैक लिंक थ्रू पोर्टल देना है, वो कंपलसरी है। और वो जो पासवर्ड और लिंक है वो 2 दिन खत्म होने से पहले दिया जाएगा। मतलब 31 को आपका खत्म हो रहा है तो आप समझो कि ये 29 को ओपन होगा। हम लोग ये दे देंगे, क्या बोलते हैं, 29 या 30 को दे देंगे, आपको फिल करना पड़ेगा। दूसरा, डेली फीडबैक कैन बी टेकन एट द डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑफ पीआई थ्रू गूगल फॉर्म। ये हम लोग कर रहे हैं जिसमें हर सेशन का जो वर्कशॉप का डिटेल्स है फॉर इमीडिएट रिड्रेसल अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम है। अब सर्टिफिकेशन के लिए क्या है, मतलब आप डेली आ रहे हो, अटेंड कर रहे हो, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आपको सर्टिफिकेट मिल जाएगा। For getting the gradation and certification, the grading will consist of 4 parts, means all the certification that you will get. The first part consists of multiple choice question comprising 20 marks to be set by PI. So we will be conducting a examination where we'll be giving you 20 marks MCQ, and then on the basis of that you will be getting the numbers. The second part will be practical test. That is 3 to 4 hours duration to be conducted on the day 19th or day 20, 30 marks. Means we'll be giving you some assignment. So it is not that it is voluntary that you're attending it and you're just casual in your approach and you'll be getting a certificate. No. On the 19th or the 28th day, we'll give the entire session, one session for your practical test. So that will be either in the first half, second half, that will decide and will let you know. So each and every candidate, please be serious. Otherwise, if you are not, maybe theoretically you can answer some of the questions, but when it comes to practical test, if you are not handling the software, you cannot find the interface, and at last we are bound to give the marks that we should not give to any individual, because all are recorded session, and we have to submit the report to DST. So it's my personal request again that please do take this practical assignments what the PI continuously or the trainers are giving, so as we can understand, we can answer all your queries on time. At the last day, you don't say that ki, I had a problem in this or I had a problem in that. At that point of time, there is no point of putting a questionnaire. So that is already I've stated. The third part, so right now we have completed with 50 marks only. The third part comprises of mini project done in a small groups of 3 to 4, means minimum 3 or maximum 4, and can be uploaded as a contributory tutorial if new innovative after editing by PA. Means 40 marks will be based on your minor project or mini project, whatever you say. In a small group, there will be a team leader, and as a group, in this coming days, you have to take a, as you have already seen, we are always giving you some basics with the applications of how this softwares or the technology can be used for the management of natural resources and finally achieving the goals of SDGs. So whatever project title that these 7 groups will be taking up in coming days, that must be aimed towards achieving sustainable millennium goals that UN has given. So that comprises of 40 marks. So there you have got 50, 40, that is 90, and rest 10 marks is for active participation and attendance, means how you are answering it, how you are, because we have got a plugin where we take all the attendance daily, what is the amount of sign in time, what is the amount of sign out time. So we have got all the software installed, and we know what was the time that you spent for that particular day, so we'll be marking it on the basis of that. An average of above constitutes the post test scores, means at the end of that you will be getting some scorecard, a score that will be reflected in your certificate. You'll be receiving a certificate where the amount of percentage that you have received will be highlighted. So I don't want that anybody gets a certificate and he has got a low percentage. So that is very disappointing that you have done some training and you were on the lower side, because we cannot help you out, because it's all practically related. Yeah, you're very good maybe in attendance, you're very good in participation, but at end of the day, the purpose of this workshop is to train you on a open source software that is known as QGIS. So kindly send this separately as an Excel sheet with the marks obtained of each part, separately names of the candidate to have a post-test score. So what are the gradings? A grade will be given to the candidates which are having the percentage more than 75 and above. B grade will be given to the candidates having 60 to 75%. C grade will be given to 50 to less than 60. Means minimum is, at last, if you are not doing anything, the minimum grade that you will be getting is a C. Okay, clear? Any questions? As you can see that all the documents what we are stating, whether that is MCQ, whether that is practical examinations, or whether that is minor project, has to be submitted to DST. So that must have as per the standard of DST. So, what is the course curriculum outlined in the portal has to be followed, and conducting the hands-on session with Open Geospatial software only. So, right now till date, whatever exercises that we have done only on Open showed geospatial software. Otherwise, we could have done some practicals related to ArcGIS, NV, or ADA. They are the proprietary software. We are very capable enough of handling those softwares, but as per the mandate, we cannot do it. So that's why we didn't add any session. Yeah, one day if we are free in any session, we'll be doing that too as an additional part. But that won't we won't be recording it. And kindly include sessions on UN and SDG goals to the geospatial component. So in the coming days, you will find good number of lectures by the eminent scientists, scholars, by Government of India who are working in the field of geospatial technology towards sustainable development goals. They will be taking some invited lectures and they will be mentoring you all. Then 70% of the course reports must be minor project. This is that format that each and everyone has to follow. Clear? Any issues?
No, sir.
Anyone?
Clear. Clear, sir.
Now, there is two
No, sir.
format that I've already told you. There is a format. I'll be sharing the format too, how the format has to be done. There is nothing that you have to do by your own. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
There is a Word file open.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is the format that you have to do. There will be a cover page, and in this cover page, there must be a title of the project. Means, uh, right now, like whatever title it comes, that geospatial science for water resource management or natural resource management or towards any of the theme that you have taken towards the SDG goals. Thereafter, there will be date. You already know where is the date. Then venue, you know what is the venue, whether you have been selected in the summer school or winter school. The format, font size, all are predetermined. Nothing you have to do. This is the first page. Then the names of the team members and the names of the faculty members guiding the mini project. So we'll be guiding the mini projects. So myself, Dr. Shruti, Dr. Varun, Dr. Pranay will be taking. Some of the students will be guiding us. So we'll let you know who are the students who will be taking up and who will be providing the name. So in some of the projects, maybe we can have a PI, co-PI. We'll be doing that too. Getting it? Then you have got a logo of the institution, name of the institution, then details of the team member and names. Means uh, who are the team members? I'll be discussing it right now. Okay, how you want, and then there is an acknowledgement section, like if you have taken some data sets from some uh, websites or Bhuvan or Earth data, then you have to acknowledge all the data. Then you have a content page, just like if you have done any of the your PhD thesis or master's thesis, MSc, MTech, MPhil thesis. So there is a table of content that states what are the different chapters. There is an abstract, and there is a introduction, there is a literature review, there is a study area, then you've got materials and method, thereafter you've got results and discussion, and finally conclusion. So what I have thought from my personal end, that we'll be including some research methodology, research methods lecture too, so that if somebody is not familiar with research in previous past, but as you can see that DST wise selection, they have stated ki whether you've got a UGC publication or Scopus or X and Y Z, the focus or the emphasis or the logic for doing that was a person who knows the research, who has got a publication, can only write and develop new ideas, and that can be showcased and highlighted in any of the conferences or the DST websites. So that's why DST also wants a trained person to be doing this course rather than a fresher. So you have written your table of content. Thereafter, whenever you're going for any research first you have to introduce your area. So you will have a topic, thereafter you will have an abstract that will be about 200 words to 300 words maximum. Maximum 200 to 300 words. And I'll also would like to tell you that zero tolerance will have towards plagiarism. We have got what Orkun software given by UGC. So in my university, even the MSc and MTech students are awarded with their master's degree only when they have got a publication either in UGC or Scopus Indus Journal. Second prerequisite is their thesis must have a plagiarism less than 10%. So we'll also follow the same principle that the entire report or the entire mini project that you're doing it will check up with the software, because many times what you will do, you'll just type a title and then you will copy and paste from some of the projects or the papers that you're finding on the internet, and you will write three members name and you will be submitting to us. That is not accepted. If you do that, you will fail. We're not providing you with any certification. So I'm again repeating it. We have got zero tolerance to plagiarism. None of the plagiarized material, none of the plagiarized figures, none of the plagiarized diagrams, tables will be taken into account when you are submitting your report or mini project to DST. So whenever you are doing any research, the research has a body part, just like a map. These are the essential body parts of a research. You must introduce your area. Thereafter, the problem statement. Problem statement will be based on the literature review that you have done on the area of investigation that you want to pursue as a project in this 20 days. Once you have identified the research gap, you have identified the research question, or in order to answer those problem statement, in order to answer that research questions, you will be framing objectives. So the third component is objective. So my suggestion will be, don't keep lot number of objective. Either one or two objective is more than sufficient for this 20 days program. Okay, one or two objective if you're done. And if you can do more, that is onto your team. How capable you are will be the kind of project that you are submitting to DST. The fourth part comprises of methodology flow chart. Means whenever you're doing any research, many of you must have publications in UGC or Scopus. So whenever you are doing any research in remote sensing and GIS, the best thing is to have a methodology flow chart, and thereafter you're discussing that there will see there is a flow satellite data taken up, then secondary data, Aster, GDM, or you have taken topographical sheets or rainfall data. And then from that, your stating connectors are there. And then you're stating from satellite image, you have prepared land use, geomorphology, geology, whatever you want. So that makes any reader, that makes any, because for research is not for your individual biodata, the research is for society. That's why we are calling it research. We are not calling it search. The difference between search and the research is this, that it is a solution with a methodology in a stepwise to answer a problem with a scientific solution. So that's why methodology flowchart is just like your chest of a body, comprising all the livers, kidney. That is the most important. By seeing your flow chart, by seeing the methodology flow chart, anybody who's sitting in America, US can understand what are the data sets you've taken, what are the data sets you have generated, and finally what you are going to do. In the same way, introduction, when you're introducing someone, what does introduction does? Maybe anybody is from America, New York, or Brazil. They don't know where is Rajasthan, where is Jaipur, and in Jaipur, if you are going to Jagatpura. So you have to introduce what is, why you have taken Jagatpura, how is Jaipur, what is the climate, what is the geology, what was the problem, why you have taken water as a area of interest. So all has to be introduced. Thereafter, in the fifth step, you will be stating the data sets, like whatever research you are doing, because you are doing a research in the remote sensing and GIS domain. And whenever you are doing a research in remote sensing and GIS, that comprises primary data and secondary data. So you have to define what are the data sets you have taken, whether you have taken a satellite data or a groundwater data or soil map, geology maps, geomorphological map, rainfall. So all those data sets, software has to be discussed in detail in a scientific manner, not just like a layman that you have just that many times. If I'm saying it, what you can do, many of the students will just write the name. I've taken soil map. I've taken this. No, write scientifically, so that your thesis, your report must be the best report in the government of India DST website. To try to do that, because and UN also, because what it has already been stated in the day one, that the best person, as what recommended by the PI of the current program, the person, the team will be selected, and you will go to the conference that is going to be held in this year at Hyderabad. So all the facilities will be provided to those participants free of cost to attend that conference. So that is the biggest conference ever happening in India pertaining to UN sustainable goals. Maybe the President of India or Honorable Prime Minister of India and the big uh, scientific champions who are working in the field of remote sensing GIS pertaining to the SDG goals. You can interact with them. You can directly ask question with them. You can develop your contact. So it is not only getting a certificate, it is maybe your entry point to the field of geoinformatics, and the elite groups or the elite scientists who are working in this field. You can go there, you can attend the conference, you can develop your contacts, you can develop your knowledge, and that will be a mind blowing, I can assure you, because that is a very big uh, conference that is going to be held in India. So once you have stated the data sets and you're selected, always when you have got a data, you have got a methodology, finally, the objective has to be uh, discussed, or there will be a result coming up when you are having a scientific, you have taken a satellite data, land use, land cover, geology. Means whenever you are taking a data set, obviously you will conclude. You will conclude in terms of natural resource management. Either it's increasing, decreasing, that is a secondary thing. So all those findings has to be elaborated, has to be written scientifically in the section 6, that is results. In section 7 you will be writing discussion. Discussion is either you can say discussing your results with the earlier results, or validating your results, because maybe because of this corona times, COVID time, you have got lot number of persons who are coming positive daily. So you cannot go into the field, and maybe many of you cannot validate your the results what you have created. So many times you can validate your data sets, you can validate your results in the form of discussion, where the earlier scientists must have stated whatever result or you want to validate. So that will be coming in the discussion. And finally, the eighth section belong to the conclusion, that after taking all this data, your analysis, your results, finally what you are going to conclude and how it is going to serve the society, whether it is in terms of sustainable resource management or whatever you are trying to achieve through this research. So that has to be concluded. Thereafter, you will be giving the bibliography. Now, can I ask anyone what is the difference between a research, not a research, a reference and bibliography? As many of you are researchers and eminent scientists, professors, here it has been stated bibliography. So, what does, and if you see a paper, scientific paper, there it has been written references. So, anyone?
Sir, bibliography basically means all those literature review that we have done for a particular study. Whereas reference means anything that we have cited in our study particularly.
Okay, because I have shared the screen, I don't know your name. May I know your name?
Sir, this is Sugandha.
Excellent, excellent. Many of the scientists in India cannot make this difference. I am very fortunate that I have got a good scholar who knows the difference between a reference and a bibliography. I many time I ask many of the PhD scholars who have been awarded their PhD, and I ask कि what is the difference between a reference and bibliography? They say दोनों एक ही होता है. तो मैं समझ जाता हूँ कि दोनों एक होता, मैं समझ जाता हूँ कि क्या रिसर्च किया आपने. बात एक ही है, लेकिन बात अप्रोच में अलग है, बात अलग हो जाती है. तो इसलिए यहाँ पर आपको डीएसटी ने थोड़ा फ्रीडम दिया है कि अगर आप चाहें तो आप रेफरेंसेस भी लिख सकते हो, लेकिन बेहतर है कि जो उन्होंने फॉर्मेट दिया है अपन उसी को फॉलो करेंगे एंड बिब्लियोग्राफी ही लिखेंगे. एंड the other thing is कि we'll take the latest papers that has published within a span of last 5 years, we can say maximum. बहुत पुराने पेपर रेफरेंसेस नहीं लेंगे until unless they are not the what I can say द बैकबोन ऑफ योर रिसर्च. बहुत बार क्या होता है कि अब जैसे सेटी का क्लासिफिकेशन उन्होंने दे रखा है ईएचपी के लिए, तो उनको लेना पड़ेगा आपको. 1972 या 92 में उन्होंने कोई मॉडल दिया, या मैकफिटर है जिन्होंने एनडीडब्ल्यूआई का दिया, और ऐसे बहुत सारे साइंटिस्ट हैं जिन्होंने डिफरेंट इंडाइसिस डेवलप किए. तब तो आपको ऑब्वियसली उनको साइड करना पड़ेगा. लेकिन इन जनरल स्टेटमेंट जो आप दे रहे हो वो हम लोग कोशिश करेंगे कि जितना लेटेस्ट पेपर होंगे उतना बढ़िया. अब इसका लॉजिक कोई मुझे बताएगा क्या कि मैं क्यों इम्फेसिस दे रहा हूं कि आप पुराने पेपर नहीं देखो, नए पेपर देखो? उससे फायदा क्या होगा? एट एंड ऑफ द डे जब भी कोई करते हैं उसके पीछे कोई लॉजिक होना चाहिए, नहीं तो करने का रिसर्च मीन्स लॉजिक. अगर लॉजिक नहीं है तो रिसर्च नहीं है, फिर तो समझो सर्च कर रहे हो आप. तो बताएगा क्यों मैंने बोला कि लेटेस्ट ही पेपर लो, क्यों नहीं पुराने लो, अनटिल अनलेस कि वो बाइबल नहीं है उस फील्ड के वो रिसर्च. बताओ.
Sir, maybe because we have to be updated with the new data and the older works have already they are close to their expiry date on the basis of data.
या गुड गुड. अब सुगंधा बताओ अपने बारे में, तुम्हारा बैकग्राउंड क्या है, क्या कर रहे हो अभी?
Uh, Sir, I am research scholar from Banaras Hindu University, Department of Geography, and I am in third year and currently working on music in Banaras, geographical study.
वाह, देखो यार, यही देखो. देखो इंस्टीट्यूशन का ना, देखो फर्क देखो. मैं हमेशा किसी को भी बोलता हूँ, मैं कभी किसी को छोटा बड़ा नहीं बोलता हूँ. मेरा कभी नहीं रहता है कि मैं किसी को छोटा बोलूं, किसी यूनिवर्सिटी को या कोई स्टूडेंट. लेकिन डिफरेंस ना स्टूडेंट में आ जाता है. अच्छे इंस्टीट्यूशन में अगर आप पढ़ाई करोगे, अच्छे लोग बाको, अगर आप देखोगे जेएनयू का बच्चा है और एक जो रांची यूनिवर्सिटी का बच्चा है, जैसे मान लो मैं रांची यूनिवर्सिटी से हूँ, दोनों में ना अपब्रिंगिंग्स का फर्क आ जाता है, मतलब कॉन्फिडेंस का फर्क है. बहुत लोगों को ये चीजें पता होंगी लेकिन वो ना डर जाते हैं, वो बोलने से हिचकते हैं. और जो बड़े इंस्टीट्यूशन में लड़के पढ़ते हैं, लड़कियां पढ़ते हैं, बड़ा कॉन्फिडेंटली जवाब देते हैं और बहुत सटीक जवाब देते हैं. तो बहुत बढ़िया. वेरी. अब जब दिख जाता है, मतलब क्या बोलते हैं कि जो बचपन में ही नहीं दिख जाता. एक कहावत थी, वो मुझे पता नहीं है, मेरी हिंदी बहुत ही कमजोर है, क्योंकि पूरी लाइफ में मैंने सिर्फ एक ही चीज की ट्यूशन पढ़ी है, वो हिंदी. इसलिए मेरे को कविता वो पता नहीं है. अगर किसी को है तो वो बता सकता है. तो यहाँ.
विद्वान के होत सीखने पास.
यस यस यस. ये कौन बताया नाम? मेरा स्क्रीन पे नहीं दिख रहा है.
मैं सर डॉक्टर श्रवण कुमार, मैं भी बीएचयू से ही पीएचडी हूँ.
अरे वाह श्रवण जी, सब तो बीएचयू वाले हैं. अभी डॉक्टर वरुण नारायण मिश्रा जी हैं हमारे साथ, हमारे फैकल्टी मेंबर हैं. तो वो भी बनारस हिंदू यूनिवर्सिटी आईआईटी से उन्होंने पीएचडी करा है। और एक ऋषभ सिंह, बहुत लड़के हैं हमारे पास बनारस के। और हम लोग तो बनारसी बाबू हैं, बहुत स्टूडेंट है हमारे पास एमटेक के, पीएचडी के, बहुत है। हम लोग तो बहुत क्लोज कनेक्शन है। डॉक्टर वरुण है क्या, अभी सुन रहे हैं क्या? डॉक्टर वरुण, नहीं सुन रहे हैं अभी भी। चलो कोई बात नहीं, अभी आने वाले दिनों में आपको हम और इंटरेक्ट कराएंगे उनसे। और द नंबर ऑफ पेजेस जो रेंज करेगा वो 15 से 20 है। मतलब 20 पेज मिनिमम, 15 मैक्सिमम 20। मतलब आपको बाइबल नहीं लिखना, 20 वर्ड लिखो आप, 20 पेज में ना चोरी नहीं होनी चाहिए, ठीक है ना। इतने बड़े बड़े इंस्टीट्यूशन से हैं, मैं बोलना नहीं चाहिए मुझे, लेकिन है कि 20 पेज तो शानदार लिखेंगे, सो दैट कि आप जाओगे यूएन में तो हमें भी अच्छा लगेगा कि हमारा यहाँ से कोई बच्चा जिसने ट्रेनिंग लिया उसका सिलेक्शन वहां हुआ। तो ऐसी रहे कि कम से कम मैं तो चाहता हूँ कि सातों का हो जाए और फाइट करो और सातों का सिलेक्शन हो जाए। लेकिन फिर भी अगर सातों का नहीं हो सकता, लेकिन मैक्सिमम जितना हम लोग कर सकते हैं वो कर सकते हैं ना। And participants should attach relevant figure, maps, graphs and photos as per the requirement of their thesis. तो अब आप बताएंगे किसी को कोई प्रॉब्लम है समझने में?
नहीं सर, क्लियर है सब।
नहीं सर, क्लियर, ऑल क्लियर सर।
ऑल क्लियर है ना?
यस सर।
पूर्णिमा जी, हरीश भाई?
हाँ, क्लियर है सर।
तो अब जो मैं बोलता हूँ कि जो ये टीम कंपोजिशन होगी वो आप लोग खुद से डिसाइड करेंगे कि हम लोग बना के दे दें? आप वॉलेंटरी खुद से अपनी टीम डेवलप करोगे या हम टीम डेवलप करके दें?
सर पहले तो खुद करने दीजिए, आज कल तक, अगर कल तक लोग नहीं बना पाएंगे तो आप बना दीजिएगा अपने से।
हरीश जी क्या बोल रहे हैं आप? मुजाहिद क्या बोल रहे हो? अपना थॉट बताओ मुझे।
यस सर। यस सर।
रावत जी का तो सुन लिया मैंने।
सर, whatever you decided, I will be agree.
चलो बढ़िया।
Yes sir.
यंग इंडिया।
But sir, one more thing sir, I want to be your PI in my thesis sir.
Yeah, in my thesis.
Yes sir. This many projects. Sorry sir.
तो फिर अपने साथ देखो, मैं तुमको 2-3 नाम दे दूंगा।
Okay
जो
sir.
मान लो कि वो थोड़े सीनियर हैं, उनका सॉफ्टवेयर थोड़ा, अगर देखो हर का हर जैसा नहीं रहता है, और बहुत है कि जो इस सब्जेक्ट के नहीं होंगे वो आए हैं। मैं 1-2 का नाम जानता हूँ, तो मैं कोशिश करूंगा कि उनको तुम्हारे साथ में अटैच करूं।
Okay sir.
उससे फायदा तुमको ऐसे भी उनको किसी ना किसी के साथ अटैच होना ही है।
Yes
तो
sir.
एक
Yes sir.
यंग ब्रिगेड के साथ हो जाएंगे तो उनको भी अच्छा लगेगा। राजा राम जी नाम है उनका, वो झारखंड से है क्या अभी? ओके, अभी दिख नहीं रहे, वो चले गए लगता है। ठीक है ना? अभी और कुछ पूछना है किसी को? एक हम लोग ना, मेरे को लगा ना कि इंट्रोडक्टरी ग्रुप वाले में ना हम लोग एक दूसरे के बारे में ना थोड़ा कम जानते हैं, ठीक है। तुम लोग ना हमें सिर्फ बाय नेम जानते हो, हम भी तुम्हें बाय नेम जानते हैं। जैसे
Yes sir.
अभी सुगंधा जी जो हैं उनके बारे में पता चला, या मुजाहिद को तो मैं बिकॉज इनकी मैम से मेरी बातचीत होते रहती है तो मैं जानता हूँ, नहीं तो इनके बारे में मेरे को पता नहीं चलता। हरी जी के बारे में भी कल मुझे पता चला कि बड़ा क्लोज है वो हमारे फैकल्टी के। तो इसलिए क्या है ना कि अनटिल अनलेस मुझे, ऐसे तो जितने लोग बाग हैं सारे अच्छे लोग बाग हैं, नोन लोग बाग हैं। फिर एजीआई सैक से जो साइंटिस्ट लोग बाग हैं, डॉक्टर ब्रजेश कृष्ण सकलानी सर हो गए, कृष्ण ठाकुर सर हो गए, और भी बहुत लोग हैं। ये दो रोहित चौहान हो गए, तो सर हो गए, तो केसर सर हो गए फ्रॉम कुमाऊं यूनिवर्सिटी। तो ये लोग तो मतलब बहुत ही उम्दा रिसर्चर हैं, बहुत ही शानदार इंडिविजुअल हैं, बहुत ही हेल्पिंग है। मतलब आप जितने हम लोग अच्छा हैं उतने ही ये लोग अच्छा है। द ओनली थिंग इसके टेबल की तरफ कौन किस तरह बैठा है, बस इतना ही फर्क है और कुछ नहीं है। ये लोग भी AGI सैक है, आर्यभट्टा जियो स्पेस एप्लीकेशन सेंटर है, वहाँ साइंटिफिक ऑफिसर है। पूरा जो स्पेस डिपार्टमेंट है हिमाचल प्रदेश का वो है। फिर डॉक्टर विक्रम रामना है, वो PDF करते हैं। जवाहरलाल नेहरू यूनिवर्सिटी से, अभी बनारस से कुछ लोग बाग का पता चला। मुजाहिद भी PhD कर रहा है जामिया मिलिया इस्लामिया से। फिर पूर्णिमा है, प्रवीण श्याम भी वहीं से PhD कर रहा है। क्योंकि कुछ के बारे में मैम को पता है, कुछ के बारे में मेरे को पता है, तो जिनके बारे में मैं नहीं बता पाया तो सॉरी, वो इंफॉर्मेशन मैम तक है और कुछ इंफॉर्मेशन मेरे तक है। तो वो जब कब एक इंटरैक्टिव सेशन रखेंगे ना, जहाँ की हमारे स्टूडेंट हो, सारे सारे PhD स्कॉलर हो, आप लोग हो, तो एक फैमिली। इट्स नॉट अबाउट, देखो हमारे पास जो आता है, हम लोग का पर्पस ना किसी को परेशान करना नहीं होता है, ना किसी को नॉलेज देना होता है हमारे को। मतलब एक ऐसा हम लोग कॉन्टैक्ट हमेशा रखते हैं। तो अगर तुम देखोगे तो आज के डेट में हम लोग का बहुत ही अच्छा पर्सनल रिलेशनशिप है। जितने में एमिनेंट साइंटिस्ट स्पीकर्स हैं, आप देखोगे कितने उम्दा टीचर्स आपको जो पढ़ाते हैं उस फील्ड के, वो मास्टर्स होते हैं। जहाँ हम लोग भी पढ़ा सकते हैं, ऐसे नहीं है कि हम लोग नहीं पढ़ाएंगे, जहाँ भी होता है स्टॉप गैट हम लोग कर देते हैं। लेकिन मेरे को था कि बेस्ट लोग से बेस्ट चीजें रहेंगी तो और अच्छा रहेगा, नहीं है तो फिर तो अपन है ही है, इसके लिए तो कोई बात ही नहीं। फिर पूर्णिमा मेहता भी हैं, ये भी पोस्ट डॉक्टरेट फेलो हैं हिमाचल में एग्रीकल्चरल यूनिवर्सिटी में। तो बहुत ही शानदार लोग हैं। अब है कि ये लोग आप लोग जितना टीम खुद से बना सकते हो बना लो, नहीं होगा तो कल, लेकिन लास्ट डे है, कल हमें टीम बनानी पड़ेगी, तब फिर हम लोग टीम में कोई चेंजेस नहीं करेंगे, ठीक है ना। क्योंकि सबसे बड़ा दिक्कत है ना ये वाला चीज, इसलिए हमने अभी तक छोड़ रखा था, क्योंकि सबसे ज्यादा कंफ्यूजन यही क्रिएट करता है। The biggest confusion is कि I won't work with him, he will not work with him, I want to this, I want that. So we'll not keep such things, we'll make it very simple so that there is a full representation of the entire, and we want that the team leader or the PI, that is my personal suggestion, that we'll see, because we are going to submit the report in the DST websites and it will be highlighted in the Hyderabad. So my vision is that we must keep the PI a very experienced person with some of the Dr. Pranay, if you're recording the session. Oh, he is in a meeting, so that's why I'll say more detail, because this is a recorded session, so I'll not be saying related to it. Whether Dr. Valun, you have got a control to stop this recording as he's out. अब अपने से कर दो ना,
Yes,
तुम्हारे
sir.
से stop the recording. Stop this recording ना.
Yes, sir, sir. Okay.
रिकॉर्डिंग हो जाएगा, उसके सिस्टम में है लॉगिन, वो अभी मीटिंग में गया हुआ है।
No, sir. No, sir. It is logged in from ma'am's account.
अच्छा ठीक है।
So I cannot stop.
हाँ वो co-host है।
हाँ को होस्ट है जो, हाँ हाँ हाँ
Sir,
उपासना, हाँ
okay,
हाँ
okay, sir.
हाँ को होस्ट इसको बना रखा है हमने।
Sir, I'm stopping the recording.
हाँ हाँ, थैंक यू फॉर स्टॉपिंग इट।